welcome to another episode of Hard Factor, presented by the Barstool News Network. It is Florida Man Friday, August 21st, 2020. We made it to another Friday, boys. I know this week seemed particularly long. And,
it's all the interviews, man. We did 3 interviews, right? 3 interviews this week, plus all the shows.
I think 3 plus the 2 shows a day, yeah. But we made it through. And then one of them's today. Representative from Philly, State Representative Malcolm Kenyatta. He's later in this episode.
Shout out Malcolm Kenyatta. Hey, B, if you want to toss me a few Adderalls,
I don't know what you're talking about.
to get through this schedule?
No
I know,
idea.
I need to go back to a doctor and just B, if you got to teach me what I got to say.
That I can do. I can teach a man to fish.
Well, I have the Xanax, which is like the exact opposite of what I need.
You're just falling asleep in between.
Yeah.
No, they won't give me that.
Don't say that your friends have given you someone you really like them.
Yeah, that's
don't
a big
say
red
that.
flag.
That's not what you should say.
No.
Yeah.
That doesn't work. Trust me.
I tried to get him a couple years ago, and my doctor was like, no. And I was like, well, I have like 2 jobs though, because it was when I was working the other job too, and I was like, I really need it. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I have taken it from a friend before, and I know it will help my productivity. I don't want to lose one of the jobs. And she was like, yeah, well, I can't do it. I could lose my license. She was,
now it's illegal.
Yeah, exactly. She was like, what? I mean, you want me to just prescribe you cocaine? I was like, okay. She's like, no, I can't do that either.
You said it, lady. Not me. Sigmund Freud over there. He used to subscribe people cocaine.
Hey,
right?
Pretty good.
Guess I'll just do caffeine.
Yeah, what a time that was. What a time.
The 50s or whatever. That would have been a time to be alive.
If you guys missed yesterday's episode, by the way, the interview with John Merrill, one of my favorites we've ever done, specifically, and I want to point this out because we're going to start talking about DNC shit in a minute, but his response on the voting things, right, like the mail stuff, a lot of times there's noise out there. A lot of times there's a bunch of fucking static, and you can be pissed at Trump, you can be suspicious of him, but at the end of the day, Tim's message, which I thought was really smart, was the candidates are who the candidates are today. So get your fucking mail-in ballot in today.
Well, I would say both, Malcolm's on the other team from John, 2 different sides, but both were very clear on pro-democracy. Everyone should vote. The message is clear. Get out there and vote,
Exercise your right.
May the best man win. Exercise your right to vote. It's not Belarus. It's not, we're the United States of America. So good for us.
Thankfully, Belarus or China. I don't want to be either one of them. I don't think right now. Okay. Well, like Pat, like the Beef, like everybody just said, we're going to talk about DNC like we've been saying all week. We've been promising it. We got a DNC summary first, but then it's a lightning round of Florida Man headlines before the interview with Representative Malcolm Kenyatta, and then a few voicemails at the end as well. So
wow.
A little bit of everything.
What a lineup.
Friday. Yeah, what a lineup. So anything else? Submit 5-star reviews. Okay, get them in for next Wednesday, for What the Fuck Wednesday.
Subscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe, and stickers. Hit the beef up. We got like 300 people requesting stickers. Let's get that to 1,000. Why not? Let's send them all to everyone.
No, we got more than 300 now. Yeah, here's the deal, guys. You want some free Hard Factor stickers with the new logo? No problem. All you got to do is fill out this little form, give us your address. We will mail them out to you. I pinned the tweet. Right now, if you go to the Hard Factor Twitter, you can find the link, or if you follow us on Instagram. I think Wes did a swipe up today. So get in there, fill that out. We'll get the stickers out. Probably late next week.
And send us when you get them. Send us videos of you posting them, like wherever you you get them, where you put them in. We'll like retweet those videos and put them on Instagram.
Yeah. Tag us on social media with the picture of where you posted it or where you put it. And,
we just hit 420 requests for stickers.
420, bro.
Stop it. Pause it for a while.
You know what I just got is a fresh ounce delivered. That's perfect timing.
What did that guy say to you?
I'm gonna go celebrate. After the show, he said, I was like, I'm going to stand away from you because I don't want to, what if I have COVID? I don't want to breathe it on you. And he was just like, don't worry, I've already gotten it. So
great.
It's good.
Great.
So he's like, yeah. I was like, all right, good. Antibodies. You look healthy.
Salesman.
It's confusing. You're like, does that mean that I have it?
Not what you want to hear from the delivery man. But yeah. Anyway.
He said it was a couple months ago. All right.
My dad's got the ultimate set of tools. He's a cable repairman.
That's right.
Okay, let's move it on. DNC, we got a lot of stuff to get through, guys. I'll try to get through this DNC summary pretty quick. So first off, let's be clear. This DNC summary includes everything up until Hunter Biden was miraculously added to the Thursday night lineup on Thursday afternoon, where his dad will be accepting the nomination.
I'm sure that went fine.
Yeah. No clue.
Yeah.
Right. No clue as to why they added him. No indication whether the speech is going to be live or pre-taped. But let's all guess right now, Mark, like you wanted to do. Guess. You be the first to guess how it went, and we'll see. We'll readdress it on Monday.
I think it's going to end with Jill, Joe, and Hunter holding their hands like after a boxing match, all three in the air.
And Ashley is the other child
Ashley,
that'll be there.
Yeah.
So you're gonna. But is it pre-taped or live? That's your guess.
Live.
Live. Okay.
Live.
So you think live and relatively okay. I'm gonna go pre-taped and relatively okay. Anybody taking anything else?
100% pre-taped.
100% pre-taped, and they went through it, and they had to make a decision on whether or not it was to do
But
this.
why would they add Hunter late if it's pre-taped?
Because they weren't sure if they were going to do it.
Right. I think Hunter may have been in the pre-taped thing, and they're like, "We're going with the tape. You got to announce it's Hunter." I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
I'm mad about this though, Will. I'm mad
What?
because Hunter did his 60 Minutes interview. He did the shut the book interview, right? Because everyone was talking about Hunter. He did an interview with 60 Minutes where he was like, "Hey, this is the only one I'm doing. I don't want to be a part of this. I just want to lay low. I want my life back, and I'm out." And now he's back.
Well,
what is it? What is that?
Hasn't he ever seen the movie Black Sheep? He makes Chris Farley look like a golden child.
Well, there's one thing about the Bidens that Joe has been very clear about the whole time. He is a family guy, family decisions, everything, all family members involved, and that's Joe. So
Okay.
that's just how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Mark's the only one on live. I'm hoping Mark's right. Okay, but let's get back to the summary of the DNC. Monday night was the kickoff, and Michelle Obama, in my opinion, was probably the strongest speaker of the entire convention. She was the closer on Monday night.
Great speech, yeah. Good speech. Yeah.
Really strong, forceful the way she gave it.
Was it?
Impassioned? I thought.
It was good. Yeah, it was a pretty good speech.
Very
Did you hear
good.
it?
No, I haven't heard it yet.
Oh, it was pretty good. Well, anyways, she closed off Monday night, mostly attacking Trump's character, like her husband did 2 nights later. But I thought that her rendition was a little bit better, personally. Others disagree. Also, I'd say that she gave a pretty strong, with that like sort of attack style speech, and she's attacking Trump and saying unify the country. I think that I wouldn't be surprised at a 2024 run from her, depending on how things shake out, based on the power of that speech.
I think if she wants it, she's certainly going to be offered opportunities to have it. Yeah, especially after that speech and how it was received by the people that support the party. I think that she probably will have an opportunity to run for something.
If the service calls her, I mean, that's you've been there, you've done that. Now she's got a Netflix production
Big
deal.
time up to her. Yeah,
Right.
Michelle's future is bright. Yeah.
I was gonna say they shouldn't be attacking the president, blah blah blah. But to be fair, after we did this interview with Malcolm Kenyatta, he's a state rep in Pennsylvania. Trump was speaking in Pennsylvania, and that dude is like ruthless. I mean, he's ruthless. So.
wait till the RNC. He's gonna be coming up with some synonyms for Joe.
Exactly.
Oh, he's already called him Slow Joe. I mean, that's,
yeah.
He'll be speaking.
It goes both
It
ways.
certainly does.
It's election season, guys. It's going to get fucking crazier and crazier. You guys are hear it, listeners. You're going to hear it when we talk to Malcolm a little bit later. Everything's going to get amped up. Everybody's going to be attacking everybody. It's campaign season, all right?
Yep.
And don't get mad at us, listeners. We're having both sides on. Don't get mad at us.
So we're covering it all,
on,
but it is going to escalate. It's going to continue to escalate, just like this. These attack dog speeches on Trump and the DNC, and then Trump coming back. He's going to come back 10 times harder. That's how he does it. So,
and you know what else is going to be interesting? It's is watching Nick Sandman and the McCluskeys at the RNC, who are the
the Missouri couple, machine gun couple, is must. It's appointment.
I got to see that. Yeah,
it's appointment TV to watch their speech.
I can't believe
Bush
we're having the water pistol grip lady.
Bush will not be there. The former Republican president that's still alive will not be there.
Bush is not supporting Trump because of the way Trump treated Jeb.
But
the
smirk kid who got paid up by CNN and the couple that pointed guns at people after defending their museum, they'll be there speaking. So
they will be. They'll get raucous applause, I bet.
Electric.
So other people who spoke on Monday night was Bernie and some other senators and stuff. Basically, there's a ton of people. I'm not going to go over everybody. Bernie
Michelle was the star Monday.
Michelle was the star. So let's hit the highlights only.
Yep.
Tuesday night, AOC got 67 seconds to speak, and she used those 67 seconds to second Bernie Sanders' nomination, which is a like it's like a parliamentary move that would happen at a convention. Totally her choice to do, it seems, though. And I thought when she did that, I was like, is this live? No way they pre-taped that, but it was pre-taped, which I thought it was weird to even air it. So
to me, that makes it worse. Obviously, there was a reaction immediately after that speech was aired where people were like, holy shit, she's not backing Biden. And they're like, what a fucking idiot. And then there was a counter reaction like, no, this is what happens at conventions.
It's just like a technical way to
But because it was pre-recorded, she could have said anywhere in that 60 seconds,
Biden,
7 seconds, like, go Biden.
Yeah.
It's kind of tough.
She didn't.
She didn't do that.
She didn't do that.
On purpose.
No, that was a message. There's a message there.
But it's tough because, as you said, Mark, the DNC today, right, is broadcast live, right? Like the DNC back in the day was an internal party business event normally. So, it makes sense in some respects. If it was just for her to say, "Hey, internally at my party,"
if it was live, I could see her just forgetting to say it. But
she would have gotten tons more time though too live. Right. It's different, yeah.
The fact that it was pre-recorded, someone listened to it, sent that into the DNC. The DNC then played it and then confused everyone. It's like
she probably
didn't look good.
She probably thinks Trump's going to win. Now she can be like, "See, I told you."
It does give you a little bit of a tickle on the back of your head. Does AOC have confidence in this ticket? And to me, that says, maybe not.
Didn't sound like it.
Nah. Nope. Bill Clinton also spoke on that night, and he has got some dentures now. Whoa. Joining Biden and Pelosi with the loose chomper crew. Yikes.
I think it's a health problem
and
too,
Trump.
Other than that.
It's pretty much any and all boomers. I don't know when they put fluoride in the water.
Does Trump have dentures? I feel like
Trump has dentures for sure.
His aren't slippery.
Clinton sounded like he had some sort of oral cancer.
It was a bad.
Maybe all the cigars. It wasn't.
Yeah, he's got that Michael Douglas.
He must.
I don't know why he'd be stressed at all.
When he gets massages.
Eating too much pussy. The Michael Douglas.
Yeah.
Oh, why would he? He's got nothing to worry about right now. Jill Biden closed out Tuesday night. She laid out, I feel like it was a good speech. And she's a educator, gave it from a classroom, empty classroom. She laid out the campaign roadmap, I thought, which is basically blame the effects of coronavirus and civil unrest on Trump, and then plus bring back the Affordable Care Act. Those were kind of the keys that she hit.
Yeah, I thought she did a good job too. The ladies were doing good the first two nights.
Absolutely. Yeah, I thought both closers did pretty good on them. Wednesday night, Hillary, holy shit. She spoke for 5 minutes and complained about losing even though she won again for the 50 billionth time. And then she tried to lump herself in with everyone else in America who lost their health care and jobs due to Trump and the coronavirus while giving a pre-taped speech inside a fucking mansion. So
yeah, what were they charging for their 2-person show? Like $5,000 a ticket?
No, more than that. It was like 75 grand a head.
It's for Bill and the Bill and Hillary show.
It is disgusting, honestly. Like I watched that 5 minutes.
Yeah.
How could she still be complaining about it? And
I didn't watch that one. I drew the line at Hillary. I watched most of them. I didn't watch the Hillary one.
Well, hey, look. Get over it, Hillary. Or don't let her talk at these things if that's all she's going to do.
That's what I'm saying. The DNC might want to cut ties with the Clintons.
But they can't right now because there's party division. That's the problem. It's like it's not a good look to put on Hillary Clinton because you have the young party leader in AOC.
This was their last one.
It gotta
2020 was 2020 was the last one for the Clintons.
You got to get them out of there. They were by far the lowlights of Tuesday and Wednesday. Then Barack Obama. Basically, this is how Mark and I were watching this speech at the exact same time. And Barack Obama's speech was largely loved by everybody on the left. When I watched it, it just reminded me of I was sick of him by the end of his second term.
Yes. So to me, look, I think that Barack didn't do a ton of stuff like legislation wise. But he's just so goddamn calming. Like I want to hear his voice, and I want to have like an audio book or like a nav system with his voice. That's
I get
all
that.
I'm saying.
He pauses for effect. He's an excellent orator as always. But he ran on 2 terms of changed nothing besides the ACA, and I was so sick of him by the end. That's all I could think about when I was listening to the speech. He was much calmer than anybody else, though, just as always.
I just had a flashback, Will, and remember that when we were 16, I want to say, you called Obama being president when he was
You did.
Obama.
Senator.
That was when he was doing the keynote speaking, which we had a keynote speaker on
Obama.
today.
I always knew he was going to be good. Also, Obama was a guy who could work across the aisle, like Malcolm Kenyatta talks about a little bit later. Obama used to work with Tom Coburn. All right, so that's how I knew that Obama was going to be the real deal. He was willing to work with maverick Republicans, stuff like that. Absolutely knew the guy was going to be a fucking star. But at the same time, I was disappointed in his presidential terms personally because I thought he was going to be a bigger star than he was.
Understood. A lot of the people like the Obamas, like the Clintons, and like Trump, like they rise. A lot of their rise is because of their ability to speak publicly and reach people.
And he's still great at it. But for me, it just kind of like I think that speech landed with you however you felt.
His wasn't as good as Kamala's. I just
liked
his voice.
Michelle's.
Yeah.
Or Michelle's.
Yeah, or Michelle's. No.
Yeah.
I don't think his speech was better than Michelle's or Kamala's, but I just was saying his voice was very calming.
Very calm
to me. Yeah.
So Wednesday night, speaking of that, Mark, Kamala, she gave the very first live speech of the event, which was cool to see something live finally. It was a lot.
Was nice.
It's more compelling to watch a live speech for sure. And I thought her speech was pretty good. She also did attack dog style on Trump. For the most part, she made some odd metaphors that I thought fell a little flat, like about the virus. And then she tried to compare political weapons to purpose, which are like kind of the same things, but she was saying that they're not. She got lost in the similes and metaphors for me in the middle, but overall a good speech.
I thought she did a good job of not flubbing any lines and stuff. I did like her speech a lot. I thought she was impressive, but about 2/3 of the way through, I started thinking, and this is for all politicians, but I was just like, a lot of this is bullshit. Like she's right. I mean, like it's just kind of
going to be the same way. It's just lip service
for sure. It's just lip service. A professional speechwriter wrote it, and it's not her. It's not like someone speaking from the actual heart of what it has to sound right. And she did a perfect job of reading it without flubbing it. She did a good job. And of course, a professional speechwriter wrote it, so it's had some nice things in it. But it just, all politicians don't seem super sincere, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, you heard it here first on Hard Factor.
Groundbreaking news. Mark just cracked the code of politics. They're all full of shit. Trump, of course, fired on Kamala, and her former hatred of Biden. So he was tweeting that out in response to the speech. Which, the debates. Obviously, she went after Biden, and then Trump came after him, being like, "You got caught, confirmed spying on my campaign in 2016." And then
he was pissed.
Yeah, all caps on that one. And then, meanwhile, walking liquor bottle and former Trump campaign manager Steve Bannon was getting locked up for defrauding people who donated to Build the Wall GoFundMe. So, like we were saying earlier, it's election season. People are gonna be firing off at everybody. People are gonna get fucking arrested. People it's gonna get crazy. So
buckle up and be nice to your neighbors if you have differing opinions. Don't get in fistfights.
Oh yeah, just argue about it, yell about it, and then have a beer, buy them a shot.
That's a great point.
Afterwards.
Let us not let these politicians that are full of shit on either side divide us, because that's the problem with this country now. We're divided.
Can be friends with Democrats. Can be friends with Republicans in real life. You don't have to get in a fist fight over it.
Yeah. Or if you're at the rehab facility, get them a Coke. Steal the Coke out of the machine that you're not allowed to have, except for once a week.
Yeah. Hey,
maybe
vote,
he'll show you
wherever you want. That's the best thing you can fucking do, right? Have an argument, but and that doesn't change shit unless you.
Your time in the booth, and that's why you go there, to make your choice. So, So anyhow, that was basically that. Again, I'm hoping for fireworks Thursday night. And sorry we didn't record this until after the whole shebang, but with the radio happening now, our schedule's so full we can't rock the old one show night vampire like we used to. So let's move it on to Predict It, because let's make some money off of these elections if we're gonna have to follow them. And today's pick, remember, go to predictit.org/promo/HeartFactor20 to get your first $20 matched on us. And we're going for locks, boys. Still, I think we need to still keep looking at these locks. We looked at Texas and Iowa and some others. Wes, I think you liked Arizona. As a lock. We looked at those for the R's. Now let's look at a D-lock that I like, especially this week, and that's Minnesota. To go Democrat in the presidential election at 72 cents right now. Why do I like it right now in particular? A recent poll showed Trump tied with Biden in Minnesota, but Minnesota has not picked a Republican presidential candidate in their election since Richard Nixon. So pretty good precedent there to say, let's hit that 72 cents with Biden.
I can understand how Minnesota got a sour taste in their mouth going Nixon there. Yeah.
Yeah, going Nixon. People are thinking maybe they have a sour taste in their mouth from all of the unrest that happened there this year under all the Democrats, and maybe that's why it's going to flip, and maybe that's why the polling is the way it is. I would be shocked if it went Trump. Now, none of us are from Minnesota, so if there are Hive members who really feel like there's a groundswell there and that it's going to swing that way, let us know. But to me, on paper, that's a lock for the D's at 72 cents. That's a 30%
I'm with
return.
You. With you there, Will. Good bet.
And remember, you can now ask Alexa predicted prices. Just say, hey, Alexa, who's going to win this election? What are the odds for this election, Alexa? And she will tell you the predicted price, and you can just, bam, go into your phone and make the bet. Predictit.org/promo/hard factor 20 to get your first $20 matched on us in the stock market or politics. Let's make some money.
All right, guys, before I get into my Florida man stories, did you guys see Alexei Navalny? Putin's main opposition in Russia was found poisoned to near death.
Wasn't he like...
He was a critic.
Yeah. No, more than a critic. He was a critic. He was the only guy that tried to run against Putin in 2018, but he was blocked by Putin because no one can run against Putin.
The secret police came and arrested his whole campaign staff, something like that.
Yeah.
We did, Yeah.
This is not the first time he's been poisoned, by the way. So he's going to recover for a second time. He still lives in Russia for some reason. So cool stuff there. Russia. Now back to Florida.
Man.
Yeah, he just won't leave Russia. He just keeps surviving the poisonings. Hey guys, no one ever said 21-year-old Zion O'Dane Denver Hall, 18-year-old Tremaine Raekwon Hill, and 19-year-old Tyreek Devontae Williams were the three smartest guys in Hollywood, Florida. But even police were baffled when they were arrested for burglarizing dozens of homes in the area, mainly because they committed all the crimes while wearing their pretrial ankle arrest bracelets that obviously have GPS on them, which put them all at the scene of each crime during the crimes.
Oh, my God.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You don't get much dumber than that. I mean,
they're wearing home arrest bracelets and going and committing crimes.
Wow.
Yeah.
What else could you do? What else could you put on yourself that would make you that obvious to get caught? Is there anything?
There's
nothing.
There's nothing short of turning yourself in. I mean, that's the next step is turning yourself in.
Or wearing
naked people are less conspicuous than someone with
naked or an actual prison jumpsuit. You just wear it
Right. Yeah, it's pretty bad. More than $150,000 in cash, an AK-47, a Smith & Wesson handgun, cell phones, iPads, jewelry, designer handbags, ammunition, blank checks, fraudulent debit and credit cards, and a stolen vehicle were among the items stolen by the three and re-seized by police. Wow. The three men are believed to be a part of a criminal organization, and I would say, unless they're collecting guns for their target practice club, that makes sense. Because they are believed to be part of a criminal organization, the many charges they received included dozens of cases of racketeering, so those guys are going to be locked up for quite a while. By the way, not the first time South Florida has recently seen criminals committing crimes in ankle bracelets. Last year, two men were wearing court-ordered ankle devices when they murdered a man in Fort Lauderdale, putting them at the scene of the crime. And also last year, a man cut off his ankle monitor and hit the road and tried to flee after being accused of raping a coworker at the job in Coral Springs. So,
what do they think that those ankle bracelets do?
I don't know.
They work, obviously. They work in cases like this.
What misconception do they have about them?
Is no one explaining this to the people?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, these guys, I guess, shouldn't have been let out if they were going to, but the murderers and the rapists. But yeah, the thieves. Yeah, I mean,
if you see someone with an ankle bracelet in South Florida, don't expect that they will be polite to you. They're not. They're going to mind their P's and Q's.
Well, I don't think that's
not necessarily the case.
No, they don't know what does.
That's everywhere. That's everywhere.
Okay.
That's small-minded, guys. It's small-minded.
Sure.
What do you think? What do you think that you should be like? You see somebody who's carrying a lifted TV on the street in an ankle bracelet. you should be open to whatever's going on? Or?
I'm just assuming he's bringing his TV over to his buddy's house so they can watch it over.
Still
watch
in
his
the box.
TV over there. So
Okay.
benefit of the doubt. Well, all right, guys, we're about to
Still
get
has, like,
nautically nasty in this next story. This one was submitted by Heart Hive member Joseph Kruger. Let me first introduce you to the married couple and boating enthusiasts, 48-year-old Heather Smith and her 47-year-old husband, who goes by Victim in this story. But out of respect, we're going to call him the captain because he is, in fact, a boat captain. Earlier this week, guys, Heather and the captain were on their cabin cruiser vessel about 10 miles south of Clearwater, Florida, when the seas got a little choppy, and the seafaring lovers got into a quarrel that eventually grew into quite the squall. And the argument ended with the captain retiring to his quarters in an attempt to sleep it off, but Heather still felt there like there were some issues that needed to be resolved. So about 1 a.m., after the captain had fallen into a deep, deep sleep, Heather opened the front port hatch on their boat, which is located in the roof of their interior cabin, and she expressed her displeasure for the captain by giving him an unsolicited golden shower. Just peeing right on him.
I'm sure she wasn't drunk.
No. This must have been quite the surprise for the captain, though, guys, who was startled awake by what he must have thought was yellow rain, maybe thinking that the ship had been taken on water. And still half asleep, he rushed out the door.
This rain tastes like vodka.
Yeah, the cabin and onto the main deck, and that's where
cigarettes and vodka.
Heather bit the captain right on his stomach. So first she peed on him. He woke up, stumbled outside covered in pee, and she put her chompers right there on his belly.
She was mad at him.
Man, I'll tell you what. If he could have turned this around, he could have had the hottest sex he's ever had.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, hang on.
No.
The story's not over.
Into it?
Okay.
If he would
have leaned into this a little bit.
No, I'd rather run this tangent down. What the hell are you talking about, bro? He's covered in urine.
Listen.
Raise it down on
for
me. Makeup sex is powerful.
Yeah. I don't really understand. Okay. Anyways,
you don't understand how this could be turned around to
She just fucking peed on him, dude.
Well,
I understand that.
In some places,
that's
a
very
delicacy.
Intimate, yeah. It's very intimate. You can't go any less intimate now, you know?
Guys.
You're all the way intimate.
You're missing this, Pat.
Okay, maybe the bees are missing it. Who knows? I'm not exactly
people to beeve I thought would be into the golden shower, the unsolicited especially.
No, yeah. I mean, and look, it plays out how it plays out. It's a couple's quarrel. I mean, the one negative is it's really hard to get urine out of the upholstery in a boat. You can't really, bring like
that's a good point.
Yeah, I can't bring like a steam vac in there. Anyway, guys, I'm not exactly sure how things resolved because it didn't say in the story, but shortly thereafter, Heather was taken into custody by the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office and charged with domestic battery, later released on her own recognizance, although she was ordered by a judge to wear an alcohol monitor. And that's the end of that. I think they're back together, which is sweet. I like to hear that story.
They're fine.
Guys,
okay.
That was just a little blip.
Yeah.
Yeah, that story is brought to you by our sponsor, Caliper CBD, and this lady needs to chill. We could all use a little chill. Luckily, that's what Caliper CBD will bring to you, some chill. What's great about CBD, guys, is that it makes you feel better without making drastic changes in your life. It will relax you. I personally, as I said before, I drink Caliper I pour the packet in my water. Before bed, I always go to bed with a little cup of water, pour in there, and I just sip on it while I'm watching Below Deck.
The guy in the last story could have just opened the packet and poured it on his tongue and then used her urine to wash it down.
That is true, Mark. He didn't need to go there. That's crass, but that is a possibility. That is a possibility.
Any liquid will work.
Any liquid will work. You just pour it in there. Guys, these powder deals are tasteless. I put them in my clean canteen like Will's doing right now. And I let the wave of chill come over me. I used to use those tinctures. Tinctures are bullshit. Don't fuck with tinctures. Here's why. You don't know what you're getting. They taste like shit. Plus, Caliper CBD's powder is proven to absorb in your stomach 450% more than CBD tinctures. So can't beat that, right? Guys, there's no THC, no high, all natural, no GMO, no fillers. It's all good. Get 20% off today from your order of Caliper CBD if you go to trycaliper.com. That's with a P. Trycaliper, CALIPER.com/factor, and use the promo code factor. You can try it risk-free for 30 days. If you don't love it, they'll give you a refund. That's trycaliper.com/factor. Don't forget the promo code factor for 20% off.
We've gotten several DMs thanking us
Dude,
for
Caliper's
bringing
the best.
Caliper into their lives.
I just spilled a little bit of it when I was putting. Normally, I'm very clean with the packet execution, but this time I spilled a little bit. I just put some straight on the tongue. Delicious, absolutely tasteless.
Yep, it's great. It's great.
Cool. All right, let's move on to one submitted by Keith Hassan Towery and the Dutch Hammer. Thank you for your service, gentlemen. Guys, you know how much I love the Florida Keys, right? Specifically Key West. There's no place I'd rather be than zipping around that little town on a scooter. But that might all change now because some idiots at the EPA and some dickhead politicians who the EPA have in their pocket have approved a plan to make the Keys a testing ground for the worst idea in the history of ideas, and that is to release 750 million mosquitoes onto the Florida Keys and its people.
What?
Yeah. So,
why?
Well, extra mosquitoes.
Why are they doing this?
750 million more. So it's all in an effort to stop a certain kind of mosquito, Mark, the Aedes aegypti. I don't know how the fuck to say it, which carries
This is actually a follow-up. We did it when they first were thinking about it.
Oh, it's approved.
Oh my God.
It's approved. So yeah, carries several deadly diseases: Zika, dengue, something, chikungunya, yellow fever. So basically, how it works is the genetically modified.
Chikungunya.
Yeah, chikungunya. Yes, sounds bad. So the genetically modified mosquitoes called OX5034 are genetically modified to produce female larvae that will die before reaching maturity. So it's the female that actually bites your ass and sucks your blood because they need the blood to feed the eggs to produce the eggs. The males are happy with nectar, but before you get there, the poor residents of the Keys have to deal with 750 million mature blood-sucking mosquitoes. So it's like God. They basically canceled summers for like 2 years.
You just double mosquito yourself? Well, at least it's COVID year.
I mean, what could go wrong? What if they miscalculated and these actually work and they just have 750 million adults that are having sex?
What if it's even worse? What if it's like they get extra Zika?
Yeah.
Right.
They messed up.
They give it to each other
a little bit. Yeah, it's a British company that's producing these mosquitoes. So I guess they're going to start this in 2021.
Payback for the Revolutionary War. This was a long play.
This is what it was. Is we covered it when the this agency or whatever first approved this, and everybody was like, "What the fuck?" And then now it's actually happening. People are still like, "What the fuck?" Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Crazy. There's more than 242,000 people have signed a petition begging them not to do this. But it's happening. It's too late. So, but what the fucked up thing is that it's apparently this is like actually wildly effective and has already worked in the Cayman Islands, Panama, Brazil, reducing the population of these bad mosquitoes by 95% in some areas. So it's probably a good thing. But I don't live in the Keys, and they're also talking about doing this to Houston, Texas. So, same shit. So could be a good thing, but it's not. I mean, 750 million mature female mosquitoes.
It's a good thing till it's not.
Yeah.
If Jurassic Park
until you modified them incorrectly, exactly
has taught us anything about messing with Mother
Could
Nature.
be the male mosquitoes. I don't know. Yeah,
genetically modified mosquitoes. Get out of here. Get out of here with that. 40-year-old Melbourne, Florida man John Adams was not happy that he got arrested last week, guys. Not happy at all. I can see where he's coming from. You see, what happened was he stole a Schwinn bicycle, nice bike, by the way, I hear, right out of one of his neighbor's garages. Unfortunately for Adams, there was a security camera in the garage, and the neighbor said, "By God, that's town drunk John Adams." He then went to confront Adams and got the bicycle back, but was still upset it was stolen in the first place, so he called the police on him. So John Adams is like, "Why am I being arrested? The bike's not even on my person anymore." And that's when he started freaking out in the booking area and started screaming. And then he decided to continue the scene by flooding the entire booking area by flushing the toilet in his holding cell over and over and over again until there was a flood. So he was not happy.
He's an innovator.
Then that led to him getting super arrested as he was causing a scene. So on the way to actual jail from the booking area, the confusion and anger continued in Adams as he started shouting homophobic and racial slurs at the arresting officer, all culminating with him telling the officer, "You're going to be killed when this is all over," as they arrived at the jail that Adams will be staying at.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
All over a Schwinn bicycle.
All over a $150 bicycle that he
This is haunting words to tell somebody. I mean, obviously empty threats. I mean, this guy's just a bicycle thief. But.
Schwinns are expensive.
You don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear that.
They
Not
remember when
tough,
Schwinns
though.
were like made fun of? They like, oh, you got a Schwinn, that sucks. Now I guess they're
Nice,
back
Huffy.
up.
But you know why?
Oh,
Wes?
that was
Schwinn's
Huffy.
good?
That was
No, they're like adult bikes. They're stylized. So like if you were a kid and you had a Schwinn, it was like one time like my dad was like, my mom usually took me shoe shopping, and my dad was like, I'll do the shoe shopping, and he tried to like force me to fucking buy like a pair of Bass dress shoes instead of sneakers. It's like when you're a kid, no one wants a Schwinn.
Aren't Schwinn like thin tires and Huffy with the big fat tires, basically?
Schwinn's like usually a medium tire, like a high.
I'm a GT guy.
It's like a cruiser. It's like a cruiser.
Dyno Nitro for me when I was cool.
Yeah.
Huffy all day.
Yeah.
Huffy and Jenkos.
Sweet.
Big time Jenkos. You had to get a rubber band. You couldn't ride without a rubber band, otherwise your Jenkos get caught in your spokes and your gears.
Oh, yeah. And the pegs back then.
Oh man, pegs. All right, guys, we have another candidate for you think you're having a bad day? Well, you should talk to 33-year-old Bryant with a T, Placid Hernandez of Hialeah, Florida. Bryant. On Tuesday, guys, like he does almost every Tuesday, Bryant kicked over to the Placio Inn Motel to pay a woman to have transactional sex with him. He entered the lucky.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
he looks forward to Tuesdays so
Bryant's
much.
Tuesday.
Taco Tuesdays.
Some people
That's
do tacos.
right.
He does tacos too. He entered the lucky lady's room and engaged in foreplay, which in this case was them smoking crack together. And once that was taken care of, Brian promptly removed his clothes and then began negotiating with the woman to get a lower price on the sex they were about to have.
Of course.
Yeah, that's a negotiation tactic. You
I
get
don't see
naked.
anything wrong so far. Yeah.
You're up in the ante.
Naked and high on crack first, and then negotiate. Yeah, that's
Yep.
standard practice.
The woman, though, guys, stood by her principles and refused to accept Brian's lowball offer for sex, and she ordered him to leave her motel room right now.
Oh, is that offensive?
Yeah, well, high on crack and naked, Brian didn't like the tone.
Who do you think I am with that price?
Yeah, I'm already naked. Well, yeah, and she wasn't. Yeah, it was there was just a miscommunication. They weren't doing business that day, guys.
That's disrespectful, Bryant.
So Bryant began to get aggressive, guys, and started punching her. Not cool.
Oh, no.
He then grabbed her by her hair, dragged her to a dresser, and hit her head on a dresser drawer, which caused a contusion on her forehead. Real asshole. Bryant then tried to sexually assault the woman. You know, that's what he came for. Tried to steal goods from her, essentially. But luckily, the woman was able to get away and began screaming for help. But then he grabbed her again, threw her on the floor, and got on top of her and told her she was going to die. But she's a wiggler.
I'm starting to think it was her that had the bad day.
Yeah, it seems like she's
I thought
got
it was
a much
Bryant.
worse day
I
going
thought
on.
it was Bryant at first.
You said it was Bryant.
Guys, you know the beeve likes to throw a left and then come with a right.
All right,
right?
we got twist coming.
No, she ends up having the best day out of all of them. You haven't met the other characters in our story yet, guys. So Bryant's on top of her, said, "You're going to die." And she wiggles away, thank God, gets out of the motel room, runs out of the motel room screaming and into the parking lot where she runs directly into her savior, 43-year-old Jules Daigle. She told Daigle what happened.
A fucking name.
Yeah.
Jules Daigle?
Yeah, Jules Daigle. Daigle don't play that shit.
Where is he? Where is he?
He do not play that shit in his motel. This is a community, guys. She told Daigle what happened, and that's when Bryant's sexless day went from bad to worse. Because Daigle grabbed Bryant and dragged him out of the hotel room. And surveillance footage, which is fucking awesome, by the way, shows them outside the room where they were approached by a third man. So they're in it. And a third man, 56-year-old three-namer Jimmy Dean Spahn, wheels up to them in his wheelchair while holding a gigantic machete.
God, this is incredible.
What a scene.
Daigle.
Yep. So now there's
Can you imagine?
There's two men.
Jimmy Dean.
Jimmy Dean Spahn.
You're going out for a soda. You got 35 cents in your hand, and you just turn right back around.
Holy
Whoa, back to the motel room for me.
Yeah, he hears some justice getting exact, and he wheels right over, machete out, and Spahn starts swinging the machete
vigilante.
and hitting Bryant Hernandez, who tried to get in his car. But Daigle wasn't letting that happen. Daigle pulled him back and hit Hernandez in the back with the machete. And then Spahn grabbed the machete back and started to stab and slash Bryant numerous times.
That's
Yeah.
wait.
Yeah, so
That's what
Bryant,
it's for.
Bryant now is having the worst day of anyone. When officers arrived, they found several puddles of blood at the parking lot, and Bryant Hernandez was covered in blood while Spawn...
They found pieces of Bryant.
Yeah.
Yep, Spawn was also covered in blood, as well as his wheelchair was just drenched. It looked like it was painted red.
Ooh.
Brian Hernandez was charged with attempted sexual battery, false imprisonment, armed robbery, burglary, and assault. And Daigle and Spawn guys were also picked up and charged with second-degree murder with a deadly weapon, or attempted murder with a deadly weapon, armed burglary, or assault, or battery. So they all three went to the same jail together after that brawl. And
Jesus, this lady was like Helen of Troy, the lady that launched 1,000 ships outside the motel.
Yep.
She really caused a problem.
But, she didn't get booked, bro. She went back to her room, probably worked a couple more tricks that day. It worked out.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
All right.
Good Lord is right.
Well, let's take it to
crazy.
Let's take it to an interview after that. This interview was with Malcolm Kenyatta. He was a keynote speaker at the Democratic National Convention. Is he our first Democratic guest?
No.
We've had
no.
It feels like it.
Buttigieg, Stiles.
Oh, yeah,
It's just been a while.
God, it feels
In
like
2009, in 2019,
Delaney.
we had a bunch,
Right.
but in
Yeah, you're right.
2020, we only had very few. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So
Deborah
here's
the
the
Commander Reno. Come on.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah. Welcome to the show, Pennsylvania State Representative and very recently keynote speaker of the Democratic National Convention, Malcolm Kenyatta. Thank you for joining the show today, Malcolm. I'm sure you've had a busy week, and it's good to have you with us. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. Because of the pandemic, none of us are in Wisconsin, so not as busy as it could have been, but great to be with you nevertheless.
Awesome. So, some former keynote speakers at the DNC recently, well, not the first person, but semi-recently, Ann Richards, Julian Castro, Elizabeth Warren, Barack Obama, some real up-and-comers, rising stars, if you will. So what is it like being in that same category? How did it come about, and what kind of feedback have you gotten from doing the speech?
So, it really is a big honor, right? And I would, be lying if I didn't say, picking up the newspaper the next morning and, seeing myself and my partner on the front page there watching me, give a speech meant a lot. But what I really hope is that there are some, young kids out there who are looking up and not sort of saying like, look what Malcolm did, but rather saying like, look what I can do, right? Because when I grew up, there weren't a lot of people who lived at the intersections that I lived at who were doing the things that I wanted to do. And so it's so difficult, I think, to be what you can't see. My hope is that I can be the role model that I wanted as a kid.
That was a cool moment. You and your partner, thanking Joe Biden for the passage, or for the court ruling that happened while he was vice president. That was really cool.
Yeah. I was happy I got him to do it.
Your partner's a medical doctor, right?
Well, I mean, to me, it almost seems like the honor's like what? It's like winning the Heisman, because it's like an up-and-comer thing. Did they give you some sort of like trophy or a jacket or anything cool? Like,
if so, they would have put it in the mail. And with the president trying to destroy the post office, maybe it just
you can't say what they gave you, Malcolm. We know. Just after the show, show us the ring.
Right. Are we talking to a future president here? What's going on? What's next for Malcolm?
I'm running for re-election to the 181st district, and so I think that's the focus right now. And I think in general, my hope is that people really start paying a lot more attention to what happens at the state and local level, right? And that's been all my conversations of trying to get people to recognize that it really is here where important things happen. I mean, if you care about issues of criminal justice reform or small businesses or the way our kids are educated, so many of the areas where the rubber meets the road from a policy perspective happens at the state and local level. And so my hope seriously is that this attention can be used to refocus people where I think, A, they can have a bigger impact, and where, B, a lot of the challenges that we need to really face, this is the battlefield on which we face them.
Absolutely. We've talked a lot about the importance of everybody registering to vote. And then even if you find yourself in a position where you might be exasperated with some of the races, you still need to vote so that you can get those local elections decided. You can have a say. And we've definitely been impressing that to our listenership.
And I agree with you because like I didn't think the state legislation really mattered that much, but you know what shines a light on that is COVID.
Yeah, for real. So going back to the DNC and COVID, obviously a different year, having all the sort of pre-tape stuff and then putting it together with a live host. What was your assessment on how it's been going so far? What would you like to see on this last night? Just from your perspective as a participant.
So, they had like a really tough fucking job in front of them. I'm sorry, you have to bleep this all out now.
Oh no, you on this show.
You can say fuck if you want. Yeah, I mean we say it all the time.
Oh, good. Well, then they have a really tough
slowly
fucking
becoming
job,
a character called the Bee over the last 5 months.
I love anywhere where I can cut. So this is for me. Ahead of them in terms of trying to do something that's never been done, and trying to get people engaged in a format that's incredibly difficult, and trying to have a bunch of people speak with, instead of the traditional 5 hours, 2 hours, right, of content.
Right.
And so I think with all that in front of them, I think they've handled this really, really well. I think that they've been incredibly creative in terms of how they've put the segments together, and like I could not be a bigger fan of like Kerry Washington if I tried. And so if I would switch anything, it would be like Kerry Washington should have been the host on the day
whole
where
time.
Yeah.
you had Tracy Ellis Ross,
Tracy
right?
Ellis Ross is wonderful too, obviously. But but who's not a fan of Scandal? You know what I mean?
Oh my God, the first season of Scandal will just fuck you up, man. Like I didn't even know that it was Shonda Rhimes. I'd heard about this Shonda Rhimes person. I wasn't like a Grey's Anatomy cat. And then Scandal come on after Saturday Night Live, and it would just roll into, and it's like, what is this network television show? I don't want to. And then it's got you by the balls, pulls you in, and then Kerry Washington.
I know, it's so fucking
world.
stressful. You're like, what's happening? Who are all these people? And so,
and
so it was really cool the way they were doing that. And I had also this random, unique opportunity, which I'm sharing now with you first. Some breaking news. So, I actually got to be the stand-in for 2 days for President Obama at the place where he gave his live speech. And so for like 2 days, I just like stood at the podium and kind of like did not his remarks, but.
Did you try to impersonate him? Did you, now?
I didn't. Come on. I have an Obama impersonation that I keep in the house. But
break it out.
It was cool.
Let's hear it.
There, and then,
we got to hear it. Wes has a great one too.
Well, yeah, let's do a competition. Wes has a good one. Go.
Come on. I want to hear it.
Wait. Oh, no, that's like more Elvis. I was about to give. All right, maybe I'll do it later toward the end when we talk about the Eagles.
Come on now.
Because when you're on the spot, it's like...
All right, you can give a summary of the Eagles' upcoming season as Barack Obama.
I'm going to give you a break.
All right.
I'm going to give you a break. Okay. All right. But I do have a question. Let's switch gears a little bit. So we're talking, the stimulus. It's the big kind of like, what's holding it up? When are we going to get that next check? Give us a little inside scoop to it. Like if you can, we know you're not on like the ground floor, in Washington per se, but I know some people that are, what's actually holding it up from your side? We know what the other side says, what in your opinion is actually holding up us, getting some more relief?
So 2 words, Mitch McConnell. Very simple. The House passed a bill months ago, and how the legislative process should work. And I say this to my colleagues in Harrisburg, we should work just as hard on the things we agree on as we fight on the things we disagree on. And usually what happens is if one chamber passes a bill, the other chamber doesn't like it, they pass whatever their ideal version would be, and then you go to conference committee and you work it out and you go somewhere in the middle.
Right.
The issue right now is that we have a president that's really dangerously dumb in terms of his management of this pandemic from the very beginning, but also in terms of understanding. It's not really that complicated of a notion that if you do your job well. Or better than you're doing it, more people will want you to continue doing that job. And so I don't get why he is not banging the drum on getting something through the Senate. I mean, if the president put his political muscle in it, called Mitch McConnell and said he wanted to see something done, something could get done. And it wouldn't be my ideal plan. It probably won't be as close to the House bill that they passed, but it would be something for people right now who are literally, in many cases, might not be able to stay in their homes. I've already had folks who are figuring out what their next move is going to be. And, the Senate just went on vacation. I mean, it really is absurd. From the post office to unemployment, it is absurd to see this Republican Party not even doing things that would be popular, like across the board.
So you think that if Trump would exert some more of that head of the party type, authority over the Senate, that they could get to a deal with the House Democrats?
I think that if the president was a leader for once in his life, we would have movement. I mean, I at the top of this, extolling the virtues of states' rights and of state, what happens at the state level. But at the end of the day, we are facing an international and certainly national pandemic. It requires national leadership. He has been completely missing on the job. Well, I guess not missing. He's been at the golf course, so we know where he is, but he's not doing much.
Well, Malcolm, the thing is, you can make that argument, but at the same point, yesterday some factory worker tweeted about a slide from a potential diversity training class in Goodyear, and that took a lot of his attention away from.
Well, it's a high priority, obviously.
Yeah. Those MAGA hats are the issues facing the country right now.
First Amendment,
So, well, on that note, Malcolm, big question for you. So, the Democratic Party made some major missteps in the last 5 years, and I think that started with ignoring the groundswell around Bernie, forcing the establishment candidate in Hillary, underestimating this Trump base, right? And I think everyone got blindsided who wasn't in the Republican Party. People in the Republican Party even got blindsided, but definitely I feel like there were missteps. What do you feel like they can do now to move forward and to unite their party and inspire them and find their footing again?
Well, let me push back a little bit on your question. I think it's really important as we talk about the future that we're clear about what happened in the past. While I think that there are rules around how the person is nominated, that certainly could have been fixed, I think have been made better after the DNC sort of came together, reformed some of our rules. That's fine, rules change. But Hillary won the popular vote in the primary pretty soundly. Bernie won a lot of states. And I think the importance of what Bernie Sanders has done, because I think he's been an incredibly important figure, and I have a lot of respect for him, is that he has brought up issues into the mainstream that I know I was talking about long before I was ever elected, and that he's been talking about his entire career. And I'm happy that in this primary, one of the first things the vice president did was put together these unity commissions, bringing together folks from all different parts of the party to create these different unity commissions that he created with the Sanders campaign. I know AOC and John Kerry led one on climate, for example. And they put together a really comprehensive and aggressive plan that I think built on what Joe Biden had announced in the primary. And I think that what we really need to do is what Joe Biden has done. And I think one of the things that we're going to see in his leadership as president, because I really hope he wins, and I think he's going to win, is that he has this real ability to actually listen to people. And I think that is such an underrated skill set when we're deciding who our leaders are going to be, not just as president in general. We have, I think, become enamored with people who, like Trump, walk around and say, listen, I have all the ideas, shut up, go the direction, go with me if you want to live sort of approach.
Yeah.
As opposed to this idea that real change happens only, and sustainable change only happens when you take a collaborative approach. And so that's why I think Bernie has been working so hard for Joe Biden, because he's really been brought in a serious way to build a platform together that really speaks to the party. And I think that that's what we're going to need to do if we win, to remember that folks are representing people from different parts of the country, from different types of communities. But one of the things Democrats are united around is this idea of how do we help working people. And I think that our fights as a Democratic Party in the media are really taken out of context in a critically important way, right? Democrats are arguing over how to provide health care to everybody, not whether or not we should. They're arguing over how to ensure that we lead the world in green new energy, not whether or not climate change is a Chinese hoax, like the president says. We're talking about how we make college more affordable, not whether or not we should. And so I think that those are important fights.
Like across the aisle, what you've seen with, Trump and some of the other more type populist people, there does seem to also be on the left side, maybe a swell of populism versus the establishment. And do you think that, regardless of how this next presidential election goes, do you see that sort of continuing in the future with the leaders of the more populist side of the party, like the AOCs and stuff, sort of, trying to shape the face of the party more?
Well, I think AOC and a lot of the other folks who've been elected are incredibly important. I think what they're identifying is something that I say all the time. If we're saying that we are going to fix some of the systemic issues that exist for working people, for people who know what it's like to live on the margins, I personally think it's enough with electing folks who, said, I went to 6 Ivy League schools and I read about your problems in a book somewhere. If we want to deal with issues around, right now, a lot of people, we talked about people who might be losing their homes. Yeah. Then I want people running for office who know what it's like to have an eviction notice with your name on it, who knows what it's like to have your lights cut off, who knows what it's like to have to sit your family down and say, I don't know what the hell we're going to do. And so I think that's a part of what AOC
hold on, Malcolm. What experience do they have in that area?
And if they do that, Malcolm, they're not going to be able to say, well, it's their fault. You know what I mean? So I don't think they're going to want to do that.
I think that, we have to have people who are from, there's this, I forget who originally said it, but I'll paraphrase it here, that folks closest to the pain should be closest to the power. And I think that that's absolutely true. And I also think that's true in Joe Biden. It matters to me that his entire career, he was the poorest member of Congress. That even as vice president, he almost lost his house. He understands deeply what it means to lose everything.
I gotta push on that, Malcolm. I feel you, and I totally agree with what you're saying. But if he almost lost his house as a VP, that's just poor financial management on Biden's part.
Yeah, he sounds like me. Sounds like he's got my financial stuff.
Relatable. Yeah, and his wife's a doctor. I know your partner. Your partner's a medical
teaches
doctor.
At a community college.
They make good cash. Come on, I agree with you, Malcolm. But if he's losing his house during his VP situation, Joe needs to get a new financial advisor.
See, he can't afford one because he's a regular person.
Hey,
Malcolm. So we try to have both sides on the podcast. We had Donald Trump Jr. on the other day. He was talking about the 2016 election. He thinks that people it's going to be a repeat this year. That once people Biden might be leading in the polls, but once people get in that polling station when no one can see what's going on in there, they smash the Trump button and he's going to come out victorious again. What do you think about that statement? That history might repeat itself in the same way?
I think that most things Donald Trump Jr. says are completely idiotic. And this is another example. Donald Trump is no longer even trying to win this election. Okay? He's not even trying to win the election. He has nothing to run on. His entire failed leadership has cost hundreds of thousands of lives and the livelihoods of millions of Americans who've lost their jobs and who have no hope for the future because he can't even push a stimulus bill through the intransigence of his own party. I think that what we're seeing right now is an attempt to shift blame, which is, what Trump does very well, and an attempt, frankly, to cheat. He cannot win fair and square, and so he's trying to cheat. But I believe that people are going to vote in record numbers so that there is no illusion about the repudiation that we're going to have of Donald Trump. And I do believe there's going to be a repudiation of this type of fecklessness and stupidity that has come out of the White House. I mean, today, yet another former member of his administration was arrested. He is running the most inept criminal organization that we've ever seen right out of the people's house. And I think that he's going to be repudiated in historic fashion. And I think he must be.
So you're seeing more of an 08 vibe than a 2016 vibe.
I think it's going to be a 2020 vibe in the sense that this will become the metric moving forward of what it looks like when people rise up and actually defend their democracy. I hate being hyperbolic in this way. And obviously, I'm a progressive, right? But my first term in office, these folks who watch everything we do in Harrisburg highlight it. That was one of the most bipartisan members of the House, right? So I do believe I will work with anybody. I have no permanent friends or permanent enemies. I have permanent interests. Right. But at the end of the day, I think that Donald Trump threatens our democracy. I mean, we could deal with a normal Republican whose policies I don't like, I vote against them. He is not in line with the American tradition. I do not believe he respects our democratic republic.
Yeah, that notion, I feel like that's very widely shared on the East Coast and in Capitol Hill is also somewhat what gives him some appeal outside of those areas. Being able to sell that drain the swamp sort of
he's an outsider
notion.
Yeah.
Right.
It's interesting to have Swamp Thing himself talking about draining the swamp.
Well, that's like the eviction thing, right? If you write what you know. All right, let's move let's move it along to something fun for I think you and I, Malcolm, and that's the Philadelphia Eagles. You're in the 181st district. You're in Philadelphia. Go Birds. What do you think the season is going to look like for the Eagles?
So the first thing I will say, right, if people have no other reason to be upset with Donald Trump, he has really stolen the football season because of his incompetence. In Wuhan, China, where this all started, they have mostly gotten back to normal because, people believe in science there. But I will say this, pandemic or no pandemic, I think this is going to be a good season for the Eagles. We have had a tough go of it for many, many years. And it sucks when we won the Super Bowl. My dad passed in 2012. My dad was the biggest Eagles fan. He literally had a room in the house dedicated to his fandom. And so, in that Philly special, I was like, that was my dad, coming down from heaven to help make that happen.
That was quite a playoff run.
I'm hoping we have a repeat.
Yeah. Nick Foles, Austin, Texas, where we are. Pretty good. I think they're going to have a good year, too. They got a lot of help at the receiving core. I think Miles Sanders is going to have a good year. They got two.
You guys got to watch out for the Washington football teams, okay?
Yeah, the Washington
football teams are coming.
Our unnamed team is going to fuck you guys up twice this year.
The team has no name.
Yeah,
if you guys have a bad season,
all right?
Yeah, if you guys have a bad season, does it not count if you just go with the football team?
100%.
Of course. That's why
they did not play that year. It's going to be like 1994 in baseball. The big strike, baby.
I think that's the plan. I think that's the move.
Well, Malcolm, thanks so much for joining us. We super appreciate it. We know you're running for re-election, right? Do you have any parting words for your constituents?
No, I'll say this to everybody. Our democracy really is worth fighting for, right? This is not about party. We can disagree across party, but I really do hope that people, whoever you vote for, that you exercise that fundamental right. We saw in Turkey and Belarus right now, democracies are falling like dominoes across the world as authoritarianism takes hold. And if we want to be able to have podcasts like this or wherever where people can have a free exchange of ideas, we're really going to have to defend it. I think so often we think this is a given and at the end of the movie, everything works out. It doesn't have to work out. It's nothing written on a tablet somewhere that says America has to succeed.
Yeah, if we were in Belarus, this would be called the Lukashenko show. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
we'd all be eating poisoned borscht. Yeah,
and I think it's really important to point out.
We just killed someone.
If you're going to cheat believably. Lukashenko messed up there. I got all the votes. And the people were a little mad. You want to win by 2 or 3 points, guys.
80%, right?
You don't want to run away with it.
Thanks for joining, Malcolm.
Thank you, Malcolm. We appreciate you.
Malcolm, be sure to tell your Democratic friends that we're not so bad, and they can come on the show.
Yeah,
and to listen
to the
show. Yeah.
Well, I'll always come on here, wherever.
Yeah, we love having you, Malcolm.
Thanks, Malcolm.
Man. All right. What do you guys think? I thought that was a pretty awesome interview. The guy seems like he's legit.
Go Birds.
Yeah.
That's what I think. Yeah. Thank you, Malcolm. Yeah.
Really, really nice talk with Malcolm. I think it's good to see, we were talking about at the top of the show, as the campaign season heats up, you're going to see politicians and the people who are pumping up each party. It's just going to we're in it. So it's time to hear people's thoughts.
Mm-hmm. Again, people are going to be triggered on either side, depending on what type of guest we get, like a Democrat or Republican. But I think it's refreshing that Malcolm is young and cursed right off the bat with an F-bomb. I thought that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. He made a lot of solid points all across the board.
Yeah, that's It's a lunchroom move right there. You want to seem cool, you throw that F-bomb down early, and everyone's like, "Whoa, this kid, he's bad."
I'd like to see more of that in our leaders. A little bit of a
right.
Well, I liked and Merrill yesterday. Right before Malcolm, like Beav was saying at the top, they're saying get in there, mix it up, say what you think, and be a part of the process.
Yeah, my favorite.
I think we had some great guests this week. Merrill, Malcolm.
Favorite part about Malcolm is two things. He said, "I have no permanent friends and no permanent enemies," which is a great edict for a politician to have. And then he said, the power should be near the pain, which I think is an interesting concept too. So,
I like that too. And he said he said he has permanent what's it called? Like ideals or whatever. Permanent.
Yeah.
Goals.
He's just saying he votes by his
people come and go.
Principles.
It's like we're talking about with Obama before. He sees the value of being able to work across the aisle, and just because you don't agree with somebody on something, you have to work with people to make progress.
Have to work across the aisle.
All right. Cool. Well, yeah. So that's that's how we do the Dems. So don't be scared. Come on, we need both sides.
We're
looking at you, Andrew Yang.
There you go.
Hello, Andrew Yang.
Anybody who thinks that being on a Barstool show might hurt your image, I don't think it will.
Yeah. All right, let's get this to voicemails. We got one review. It's from Farts Monopoly. It says, "Enjoy the pod. Love the pod. You guys are really funny. I'm glad I can finally tell your voices apart after a year of listening." Then he goes on to some kid diddling joke, which I'm not going to get into.
You got to read it. You got to read it.
Okay. And now that we're done reading that short and sweet review, I just wanted to let everyone know about my passion, diddling kids. Some people think it's just a hobby or even a problem, but for me, it's a passion. Wow, it feels so good to finally get that out. Okay, back to the other 5-star reviews.
See,
is your kid safe in your home?
Can I do a quick breakdown here? So, he blew it big time there because kid diddling's not funny, but it is fun. The only way this could have been funny is if he said, "This is Wes, and I enjoy kid diddling," and Wes is forced to read it.
He gave us a compliment at the top. Yeah, he gave us a compliment. Shouldn't have gone with the compliment at the top.
But he got Wes to say it because it's 5-star review.
But he was saying it in his voice. He could have put it in Wes. This is Wes Shepard, and this is what I like to do, which is
he doesn't know. Farts Monopoly didn't know it was going to be Wes's turn.
Yeah, well, he could have if he backtracked.
He has a 25% chance, bro.
I'll tell you what, though. He didn't mess up with his name, Farts Monopoly.
No, Farts Monopoly is great. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. We're here to workshop, guys. That's what we're here to do. We're all getting better.
All right.
This is my guy, Farts Monopoly.
Farts Monopoly. All right, here comes the first voicemail.
No one farts but me.
Good morning, Hard Factor boys. This is Jack from Ohio. Just wanted to say, huge fan of the podcast. Love how you guys kind of, toe the line between right and left. Pat actually keeps you to the left. Everybody else is just falling off the fucking preacher to the right. But I do appreciate how you guys kind of, keep it honest no matter what. But really what I was calling to say was, at the end of the podcast, you guys make a point to play a song that has something to do with the podcast no matter what. I don't think that's necessary. What I think you need to do is, unless there's a major story, go back to playing Money for Nothing. That song is beautiful, and I would like to do nothing but listen to that guitar riff for 24 hours a day, personally. But that's just me. I love the stuff you guys do. Please just play as much Money for Nothing as possible. Big fan of the Macho Man inserts as well. Love the work you guys do. Good stuff. And have a great fucking day, guys.
You too.
All right.
It's got great taste. Macho Man inserts and Money for Nothing is, you can't go wrong,
Oh, made it easier for whoever's editing tonight. They know what song.
Yeah, unfortunately, can't happen because the second half of Money for Nothing is canceled. So the first half.
Well,
half
no. There's a clean version. You just gotta go get the clean version.
It's a clean version. It's also a 7-minute song. They dropped the F-bomb twice in the 7 minutes.
I've done it before where I've bleeped out the.
You can bleep it out.
All right, that's actually pretty fun. Yeah.
Take
that
it
was
under
episode
advisement.
500. Bleeped it
Sorry you hate variety, but glad you like the show.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna continue to maybe other than today play other songs, but I agree with you. It's a fantastic song.
Yeah.
Excellent.
All right. Next voicemail.
Hey, this is Dugan. I don't know what the hell Pat was talking about with the first man on the moon was Neil Armstrong. He went to Purdue University. I didn't know Pat went to Purdue. But anyway, that's all. Have a great fucking day, I guess.
Right on.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Okay, so what I was trying to say, I was trying to make a joke during our John Merrill interview where I was saying, like, we're the Neil Armstrong of Nick Saban, and you are the Buzz Aldrin. Like, you got him second. But I had a brain fart.
Oh,
but
LSU
What'd you say?
and Bama.
I didn't think I even said anything. Maybe I said something about first man on the moon. Maybe I don't know. But that's what he's talking about.
Pat was
But you
saying,
didn't go to Purdue either, Pat.
No, I had said nothing about Purdue. I don't know what he's
no,
talking about.
that guy was saying Neil Armstrong went to Purdue.
I went to
Now we're
LSU.
Yeah,
real
and then he
quagmire.
said, I didn't know you went to Purdue, Pat. I think he was taking it a step further and never mind. But
I've drank
Pat
in
did
a lot
not
of
go to
Boilermakers.
Pat did not go to Purdue, and Neil Armstrong.
He
was
went
the
to
first
several
man.
universities, but not Purdue.
Yeah,
Really
Not on the
stretched my
list.
legs into higher education.
so he didn't like a joke at all.
If
But
I
you were
ne-
there
No, he
for
didn't.
Saban's. You were there for Saban's year at LSU, which is what you were referring to.
Right.
The Saban's championship year. That's what you
What
were
I was
saying,
trying to
John.
say is like if you like you're in a serious relationship with someone, you're married to someone, you get divorced amicably, and then they go and get remarried, you know that you always have a one-up on their new husband. You know what I mean? Like you might like
Well,
him,
you
might shake
always
his
were
hand.
there first.
Yeah,
But yeah.
you're Bill Stevenson, and he's Joe Biden.
Exactly. So
I like the
Yeah.
wink the Beeve just gave.
Yeah.
The wink embodied exactly what you meant by having been first. Yeah.
no, my policy on Saban is you can have her.
Okay. Ooh.
All right. Here comes a short one.
Hey, Hard Factor, got a very simple question here. Out of the four of you, who would win in a tournament of rock, paper, scissors? Thanks. Have a great day.
Let's go.
I'd get last.
Let's go.
It's just a game of
Oh,
chance.
right now.
Yeah, let's go, everyone.
Okay, ready?
Okay.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Who will cut me and Wes wins.
Yeah.
Will cut me and Pat, and then Wes stomped him out with the rock. I'm
Yeah,
gonna say
but
Wes
then you
won.
guys
Pat,
wrapped
Pat
Wes,
covered
though.
me.
Yeah, we covered Wes. Well, you can't do it with four people. I
No.
guess.
Can't do it
Yeah.
with four people.
Can't do
Wait,
it.
Sorry.
Rock paper. Well, yeah. So it doesn't work over.
Listen,
We-
you go rock
we don't have enough
60% of
time.
the time. That's what you do, okay? 60%
Yeah,
of the
because
time you go
you're
rock.
already in rock. You're in rock
That's why I
formation.
throw scissors, though. Wait, no. that doesn't
Exactly.
make sense.
No, you don't want that. You go paper.
No, paper. People go paper. That's why you got to throw scissors.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I think
Not enough
I think
time.
You,
Not enough time to settle it today. But
I think you can tell based on that strategy who would win. Yeah.
That's right. I got my weekend cut out for me.
Here we go. Last one.
What's up, Hard Factor boys? It's Grayson. I'm from I'm calling from Colorado. I'm not from there, but I don't have a nickname. It's surprising how many people do out there. But I was just calling. First of all, I don't know why everyone says you guys are fat. You guys really aren't. I mean, half of the show has been Shay. I mean, and you guys aren't even fat. So fuck everybody that says that.
And that's pretty much where Grayson stops making sense in his voicemail.
Yeah.
So
well, no, he didn't even make
compliment.
sense there. I'm 292 pounds.
Yeah,
I'm a
It was
fat
nice of
guy.
him.
Yeah, that was very kind of you, Grayson. Thank you.
The rest of Grayson's voicemail does not make much sense, and it's not feasible unless you go Spanish.
Right.
But yeah,
I'm glad, Grayson, that we appear to be less fat to you than we actually are. But I am legitimately overweight and need to lose pounds. Yeah,
for sure. We all got to lose weight. Grayson said he was mad at the derecha stuff, and he kept screaming, "That's right" for Spanish in his car.
In his
first
car.
day
Yeah.
we did it. And
then there was some contest he wanted us.
He wants us to all learn the same language for 20 days and see who does it best. Not Spanish, mind you.
Well,
just
how about
any
do
language.
French? How about that?
Yeah, and then he wants us to call a restaurant and order only using the language we learned. So you'd have to call a French restaurant with French-speaking people.
I speak French. That's why I was saying do French.
But I mean, like, how many
let's do German.
restaurants? You have to call a restaurant that speaks the language. In the United States,
Oh, we got to
French
do Chinese then.
Yeah, you'd have to do something like Chinese
Yeah,
or Spanish. Or
Let's do
Mandarin.
Chinese. If we're Mandarin. If we're gonna do that, that would be more challenging.
He didn't think it through. You have to pick like one or two specific languages where you can call a United States restaurant and they'd actually speak that
Mandarin
language.
will work, I think.
Is he going to pay for the Rosetta Stone? Like, we have this option every day just because he dared us. Now we're going to go learn a language.
Also, they got a lot of free.
I'm not doing it.
Rosetta Stones.
All these interviews and radio. I mean, it's gonna be hard to fit in time for Rosetta Stone, but I would like to do a learning. We should add learning Chinese to the decathlon of events, the combine that we're putting together.
Memory challenges where we're tasked with like reading a book and then reading comprehension weekly or something like that. Some sort of quiz.
My
I've been doing
son's
some
half
Googling.
Chinese and he doesn't even want to learn it. So that's what if that tells you anything.
Jeez, it must be hard.
Yandex combine equipment. I got a couple ideas. We're gonna figure it out. It's gotta be cheap. We'll find a way to do it. Yeah. I'm Farts Monopoly. No one farts but me.
It's my boy. If anyone's gonna be doing the farting, it's Farts Monopoly.
They're gonna have to. You better get an antitrust lawyer in here.
All right, guys, that's gonna do it for Hard Factor for this week. Thank you for
I own
listening.
the software and the hardware.
I knew Pat was gonna keep going, so Pat, you take us out.
No,
you can see it in his eyes.
Yeah, I knew
Beef hiked it to himself again. Hike to the end.
Go ahead, there, Beef.
It's you. Yeah, you do it. You take it out.
That's going to do it for Hard Factor. Thank you for listening all week. We appreciate it. Hey, the stickers are back, as Pat has said. You can go to that pinned tweet, get yourself some stickers. Don't DM us and say, here's my address.
God, who
Send us some
farted?
stickers.
I think you know.
Yeah. Have a great fucking day. All right, good.
Wait a minute. It smells. Where's Monopoly?